here's a question I want you to really answer honestly. Do you actually know if keeping your dog inside is good for them? Or have you just been hoping it is? Because most people don't know. They just feel guilty and move on. But there's a real answer, and it's way better than what most owners are walking around assuming. Hit subscribe button right now. Because by the end of this, you're gonna know for sure. 1. They actually live longer. Okay, let's start with the one that tends to genuinely shock people. How many extra years do you think keeping your dog inside actually adds to their life? Take a guess. Really, just think about it for a second. Most people have no idea. And the honest answer is, a lot more than anyone ever talks about. Think about what's actually out there waiting. Antifreeze pooling in somebody's driveway down the street. And here's the thing, it tastes sweet to dogs. Actually sweet, like something they'd want to lick right off the pavement. And it destroys their kidneys within hours. Rat poison that a neighbor put out 3 houses over doesn't come with a warning label your dog can read. One bad run-in with an aggressive stray can leave a wound that gets serious, really serious, before you've even noticed anything's different. None of it gives you a heads up. It just happens. Researchers looked at records from over 90,000 dogs and found something really clear. Dogs who lived indoors, in a stable home environment, consistently outlived dogs with regular uncontrolled time outside. Not by a small margin. Meaningfully longer lives. Every single year you've had with your dog, every birthday, every season change, every lazy Sunday morning where they're just flopped across your feet, those years are there because of the environment you chose to build around them. That's not a small thing. That's literally everything. 2. Your dog has never once wondered where you went. I want you to think about this one for a second. Really sit with it. Dogs who spend a lot of time outside by themselves never fully relax. Their brain doesn't let them. There's always something going on, a sound at the fence line, a smell coming over from the street, a dog barking somewhere 3 blocks away. So their nervous system just stays half on. Even when they're lying down, even when they look totally peaceful. Part of them is always listening. Your dog has never had to live like that. Their world has edges. Specific, familiar edges they know by heart. And inside those edges, there's basically one thing their brain keeps coming back to, again and again. You. Not just because you're the one with the food. I mean, sure, that doesn't hurt. But because you are the most consistent, most readable, most familiar thing their brain has ever had to work out. And at some point, they worked you out. Completely. They know which footsteps mean you're going to the kitchen. They know the difference between you picking up your keys and picking up the TV remote. They've been studying you the way you only study something that genuinely matters to you. That kind of closeness doesn't happen in a dog whose attention is always being pulled somewhere else. It only builds in a dog whose world got quiet enough to go really, really deep. Your dog went deep, and you're what they found at the center of it. If this is already landing differently than you expected, go ahead and hit like and subscribe. We're just getting into the good stuff here. 3. The bond that only builds in a small world. Okay, here's one that kind of blows people's minds a little. Dogs are one of the only species on the whole planet that actually seek out eye contact with humans on their own. Nobody taught them to do that. It just happened. Somewhere in the 15,000 years they spent living right beside us, their brain literally rewired itself to want that connection with people, which is kind of incredible when you think about it. But here's the part that really matters. That wiring only does its thing under the right conditions. It needs 3 specific ingredients. Being close to you, seeing you regularly, and time, a lot of it. Researchers in Japan actually studied what happens inside a dog's body when they look into their owner's eyes. And what they found was pretty amazing. Both the dog and the owner get a release of oxytocin, the same bonding chemical your brain produces when you're holding a newborn baby. That same exact thing. And it doesn't happen in one big, meaningful moment. It builds up across thousands of tiny ones. A glance from across the room while you're at your desk. Your dog coming over and just lying down at your feet without being asked. Them figuring out what your specific sigh sounds like right before you get up off the couch. Your dog has had every single one of those moments. Hundreds of times. Maybe thousands. A dog who's outside a lot, their attention's constantly getting pulled somewhere else. Other animals, territory, sounds and smells that have nothing to do with you. Your dog got something different. A relationship that kept getting deeper, quietly, in every ordinary moment you two spent in the same space. People hear that and call it dependence. The science calls it secure attachment. Your dog just calls it home. Ford, what your dog essentially needs isn't what you're collecting. Close your eyes for a second. Seriously, just go with me on this. Picture what you think the happiest version of your dog's life looks like. Wide open field, right? Wind in their ears. Running flat out until their legs literally give out. Maybe rolling in something they definitely shouldn't be rolling in. That image feels right. It feels like what a dog is supposed to want. But here's the thing, and this kind of floored me when I first really thought about it. That image isn't actually what your dog dreams about. That's what you picture for them. It's what freedom looks like through human eyes, not theirs. A dog's brain doesn't need novelty the way yours does. It needs predictability. Dogs are genuinely happiest when they have a territory they understand, reliable food and rest, and people around them they can read. That's really it. That's the whole list. And not one thing on that list needs wide open space to work. You know what actually stresses a dog out? Not living somewhere small. Living somewhere unpredictable. A yard where the smells are different every day. Where unknown dogs pass the fence. Where sounds just kind of show up out of nowhere with no explanation. That's not exciting for most dogs. That's genuinely exhausting. Your home is the opposite of all of that. Same smells. Same sounds. Same faces, day after day, and inside all that sameness, your dog didn't get bored, they got fluent. Fluent in your schedule, your moods, your patterns, the look on your face when you've had a rough day, the difference between your alarm on a Monday and the silence of a Saturday morning. The big open field you pictured for them, they never needed it. They needed exactly what you gave them. A world small enough to really know, and someone worth knowing it with. 5. You're the only one would ever catch this. Here's the one that I really want you to hear. Dogs are genuinely remarkable at one thing that most owners don't figure out until it's already cost them something. Hiding that something's wrong. And I mean really hiding it, like convincingly. Almost impressively hiding it. This isn't stubbornness. It goes back way further than that, further back than any breed of dog that exists today. Out in the wild, an animal that signals pain attracts predators. So over thousands and thousands of years, the body just learned to cover it up. Keep moving. Keep eating. Act normal for as long as physically possible. That same programming is still running in your dog right now. In every dog alive. A specialist in internal medicine at one of the top vet schools in the country has talked about this. Dogs can have really serious things going on inside them and show zero signs that a typical owner would ever pick up on. The body compensates quietly. Sometimes for a year or more. And by the time something obvious shows up, the window for catching it early has often already closed. Here's where keeping your dog inside changes everything. The early signs that something's shifting don't show up in how your dog acts. They show up in the tiny stuff. The water bowl that's getting emptied a little faster than usual. Bathroom habits that are just slightly off from normal. Energy that dips in a way that feels a little different from just being tired. A dog who's outside a lot scatters all of that across the whole neighborhood. Drinks from a puddle. Uses someone else's yard. The information just disappears before anyone can read it. Your dog lives inside your attention. Every little change shows up right in front of you. That routine you barely even think about. Filling the water bowl, noticing the bathroom trips, clocking the energy level without even trying. That's not just being a good owner. That's the earliest warning system your dog has. And you're the only one who's running it. Subscribe and turn on notifications, because the next video gets into something about your dog that even most vets won't bring up until it's already become a problem. You chose to keep your dog inside. And that choice, the one you second-guessed, the one that made you feel guilty sometimes, the one maybe someone made you feel weird about, it's been quietly doing something that most owners never get to see the full picture of. More years with him, a deeper bond. More of you, learned and mapped and held onto by a brain that didn't have anywhere else it wanted to be. That's not settling. That's not a compromise. That's the whole thing. If this changed how you're looking at your dog right now, tell me in the comments. I genuinely read them. And if you've got a friend who's been carrying that same guilt, send this to them. They need to hear it too.